Awesome. So good. There we go. Takes
Perfect.
me a
Yeah,
minute
we
to
can see
get,
that.
yeah, just takes me a minute here to get this all going here. So guys, I am so excited to be here today. Um, yeah, I got to thank Jen and the whole team for doing this. I think it's amazing. It's so great to see some familiar faces and some new faces. So I'm going to first of all talk to you about John Maxwell and this great book that he wrote, John Maxwell's 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. So I don't know how many of you know about John Maxwell and who he is. And if you don't, I'm just going to go over and tell you a bit about him, because you're going to be like, why are we listening to and reading his books, right? So he's an author, a coach, and a speaker. He is #1 New York's best-selling time author. He's written over 14 books. He's sold over 25 million books. He's identified as the most popular leadership expert in the world by Inc. magazine in 2014. He's the founder of John Maxwell Company and the John Maxwell team, which emerged together and created John Maxwell Leadership. He has a nonprofit organization training more than 5 million leaders in 180 countries, and that is called EQUIP. He's a family man, born in Michigan. He's been a pastor for over 30 years, and he's extremely humble and passionate. And if you ever get the opportunity, go and see him on YouTube, go and listen to him on Audible when he reads his books to you. He's absolutely amazing. He's got an amazing voice. So who is Gina? So I've been a realtor since 2012. I'm the team leader for the Capstone Real Estate Group, eXp Realty Brokerage. I'm a certified success coach. I'm a member of the Maxwell Membership Certified Team. I have a passion for helping others with their health, their wealth, and their real estate. So full circle. I'm a wife and a mom of 2 now young adult kids. I love to travel and I love to learn. So why did John write this book, The 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth? John wrote this book to help people learn how to grow and develop themselves, so you have the best chance of becoming the person you were created to be. His desire is to help you develop the right attitude, learn more about your strengths, tap into your passion, become more in touch with your purpose, and develop your skills so you can be all you can be. So with regards to John's 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, there are 15 laws. He's written these all by experience. So I'll just quickly go through them. The law of intentionality, awareness, the mirror, reflection, consistency, environment, design, pain, the ladder, the law of the rubber band, trade-off, curiosity, modeling, expansion, contribution. So today we're going to cover the law of the rubber band. This is one of my most favorite laws. So the law of the rubber band. So before I get into the actual law of the rubber band, let's talk about the rubber band, right? So here I have this rubber band. It's actually kind of a cool purple one, right? And we all have them. We all use them, right? But what's the value of this rubber band when it sits in my hand? When it just sits here, right? Well, it has no value, right? Now think of all the things you can do with this rubber band when you start using it. You can use it like I did, this cool green one, to hold these pens together. Women use it to do a ponytail. You can roll something up like your yoga mat, use it for that. You can use it to, wrap your food up and keep it fresh. Kids even use it. If you've seen kids use it to make bracelets and bouncy balls, right? Now this rubber band has value. It has endless possibilities once you start stretching it. The value is in stretching. So John's law for the rubber band is growth stops when you lose the tension between where you are and where you could be. So this is where the rubber band comes in. Now, that stretching is not only true about the rubber band, but it's also true about us, right? John Maxwell's law of the rubber band emphasizes that growth and improvement occur when you step outside of your comfort zone and stretch yourself, much like the rubber band needs to be stretched to reach its full potential. So just like the rubber band, your potential expands only when you're stretched, right? So we're going to talk about stretching, guys. So with regards to the law of the rubber band, John's written 8 benefits of stretching yourself. So we're going to go through those. So number 1, few people want to stretch. So most people only use a fraction of their ability and rarely strive to reach their full potential. There is no tension in you. If there is no tension in your life to grow, there's no desire to stretch. Too many people settle for average in life. The best clients don't pay for average. Nobody admires average. So you have to remember that as a realtor, right? You must be aware of the gap that stands between you and your potential and let that tension of that gap move you towards striving to become a better you. So number 2, setting the status quo ultimately leads to distraction or dissatisfaction. Most people are naturally tempted to settle into a comfort zone where they choose comfort over potential. They fall into familiar habits, doing the same thing, the same way, with the same people, at the same time, and getting the same results. And when they don't get ahead, they ask why. So I'm going to read this again because it's really, really important. They fall into familiar habits, doing the same thing, the same way, with the same people, at the same time, and getting the same results. And when they don't get ahead, they ask why. Although being in a comfort zone feels good, it leads to mediocrity and eventually dissatisfaction. If you're a rubber band not being stretched, if you're not living outside of your comfort zone, you're not experiencing life to its fullest. You need to realize that you will only reach your potential if you have the courage to push yourself outside your comfort zone and break out of a mindset of mediocrity. You must be willing to leave behind what feels familiar, safe, and secure. You must give up excuses and push forward. You must be willing to face the tension that comes from stretching forward to your potential. And number 3, oops, sorry. I just got to move you guys around here on the page. Number 3, stretching always starts from the inside out. Reaching your potential starts on the inside, right? Most people have a dream. For some of us, it's on the tip of our tongue, and for others, it's hidden deep in their hearts. But everyone has a dream, however, not many people are pursuing their dreams. So you have to realize that. If you've got a dream and you're not stretching yourself, you just won't get there. If you are merely average or you're no closer to your dream this year than you were last year, you can accept it, you can defend it, you can cover it up, or you can explain it away. Or you can choose to change it, grow from it, and forge a new path. So why not stretch up to your fullest potential of what you can do to fulfill your dreams? Number 4, stretching always requires a change. The greatest stretching seasons of life come when we do what we have never done, push ourselves harder and reach in a way that is uncomfortable to us. You need to develop your reach muscles, guys. Reach out and stretch a little farther. Get a little bit more, do a little bit more than you've ever done before, ever gone, or ever been in your life. Now, this takes courage, of course. The good news is it causes us to grow in a way we thought was impossible. It's never too late to be what you might have been. So number 5, stretching sets you apart from others. And this is what's really important as realtors, right? People who live by the law of the rubber band can use the tension between where they are and where they could be to distinguish themselves from other peers. Improving yourself is the best way to help yourself and others, including your clients. When you get better, those around you benefit. To be exceptional, you have to stretch, right? So as a realtor, your goal should be to make your clients smarter, more knowledgeable, know the process more effectively for buying or selling a home, and using your energy, creativity, and insight, right? You do that extra research and legwork for them because you really want to shock them and give them that awe experience as your client, right? And what are they going to do from that? They're going to refer you. So remember stretching yourself apart from others. Stretching can become a lifestyle. When we stop stretching, we stop living. So if you won't be better tomorrow than you were today, then what do you need tomorrow for? That's a big question, right? You want to keep reading, keep learning, ask questions, talk to interesting people, work hard, and expose yourself to new experiences. Don't give up growing and stretching. Stretching gives you a shot at significance. Number 7. Significance is within each of us. If we are willing to stretch, that seed can grow until it begins to bear fruit in our lives. What's fantastic is it changes us and challenges us to make changes around us. Our growth creates a belief in us that others can grow. When that happens in an environment and everybody is stretching and growing, then the indifference is replaced with make a difference. And this is how we begin to change our world, right? So this significance can not only just change with you and the people you know, but you can actually change the world. If you continuously focus on making the next stretch, you will continuously leave your comfort zone and stretch towards your capacity zone. We all have a possibility path to make a difference. And if we follow it, we stop asking ourselves what we are and can ask what we can become. Look forward to the future. Stretching to the end. The law. Growth stops when you lose the tension between where you are and where you could be. That's the law of the rubber band. So don't stop the tension that promotes growth. Focus on the tension, especially if you have success. Having less tension makes people less productive. It undermines their growth, further potential. Continue to learn, grow, and stretch. So one great tip I have for you here is if you want to turn around and stretch and grow on your strengths, what you're good at. Because when you turn around and stretch in the areas that you're good at, it challenges you, you feel more comfortable, but it challenges you more to want to learn and to think higher and do stuff, and you just automatically just start growing. So that's a little tip, for growing is to stretch in your strengths. So applying the rubber band to your life, in what areas of your life have you lost your stretch and you've settled? And this can just be anywhere, job, career, family, even some of your own personal goals, right? To lose weight, so where have you lost that stretch and where are you settling right now? Where are you falling short of your potential? What goals haven't you hit that you are capable of, right? And so what's stopping you from going there? What habits have you developed that are hindering you from moving forward? And what areas of past successes have you stopped winning in? That one's huge. You were winning in some sort of maybe career or something you were doing, exercising every day, and then you've stopped. What's gotten in that way from you stretching and reaching your potential of what you initially wanted to do, right? Remember, change is the key to growth. You continually want your goal to be barely within your reach, but not too easy, but not too impossible either, right? So a lot of it with regards to the rubber band is your big why. You need to find those internal reasons to seek tension, to stretch again, and to tap into your internal self and look at yourself and look for your big why. And I look a lot of the rubber band is like jumping out of the nest versus being pushed out of the nest. You made a decision to do it, so just do it and stretch yourself and learn some more. So that's my presentation with regards to the rubber band. And what I thought I would do is kind of relate it to being a realtor and how being a realtor stretching and growing. So if you remember, some of you, you're new realtors, some of you have been doing it 20, 30 years, right? But when you were first realtor, right, you had to learn so much. And you may have had someone like a team member, a mentor, your brokerage, right? And they were all helping you going to like a listing appointment. Then finally you had to do that listing appointment on your own, right? You probably were nervous, insecure. You did that presentation over and over again, right? So now you've gone and done that listing appointment and you're getting listings. And so you're so excited, right? You've helped a client buy a home, right? So you've done your solo performance, your listing appointment, and you've helped buyers out. But now let's say that client or a client you know wants to sell that house and you've been solely working in Vaughan, but they're like, I want to go to the Kawarthas, I want to go to Oromadante. And you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, they're looking at a rural property. That's well and septic. I don't know anything about that, right? So what are you going to do? Are you going to refer it out? Or are you going to stretch and grow and learn about well and septic? Right? That's a choice you're going to make. So now that couple maybe has a son and they turn around and they're like, oh, Tommy wants to, buy a commercial property. What are you going to do? Are you going to say yes to that? Or are you going to stretch and grow and learn from others, from other realtors about commercial properties, right? And then maybe they've got a daughter that says, oh, they want to buy a farm. And now you're going to sit there and go, oh my gosh, we're talking barns and silos. And I may potentially go there and see pigs and horses and, cows. Oh my gosh, are you going to just refer it out? Or are you going to stretch and grow and now learn about agricultural properties, right? So as a realtor, you can just limit yourself and potentially just stay in your area of Vaughan and not go any farther or a local area. Or you may stretch and grow because what I'm finding more often is a client doesn't stay local anymore. They're moving sometimes an hour this way, an hour that way. They're downsizing. So you got to start learning about maybe condos, parcel of tied lands, lease land, because now they're looking at something totally different. Are you going to let that limit you, or are you going to stretch to your potential and learn about it? And you may find that you want to actually become more focused on maybe commercial or agricultural because you really love it. So guys, that's my presentation for you today, the law of the rubber band. I don't know if anybody has any questions, but I'm here. I know that it's been exciting to do this for you guys today.
Thank you so much, Gina. This was so great. I really love that you actually had a rubber band prop. That was
In
my
my favorite color too.
So good.
And the best part is you can only find those holding broccoli together, right?
That's too funny. Does anyone have any questions for Gina?
Yeah, so I mean, like John's books, you can find them on Audible, you can buy them on Amazon, bookstores. They're great. Like I said, he's written like 14 different books. He's a really great type of mentor, someone you can follow on YouTube. He's out there. So he's not hard to find at all.
That's awesome. Hands up, who has not heard of John C. Maxwell? Perfect. Everyone has. Oh,
Oh,
wait, I have
wow.
one hand up.
Yes, I know that Jen, she really admired him and helped her in her sense of growing and stretching too. So that's why she's asked me to come on and do a few of these. So yeah, it's been amazing.
That's awesome. So good. Well, everyone, get that rubber band ready and stretch and dip into new things. It was really awesome, Gina. It's a great way to jump into the weekend and more deals done and do more amazing things. We're so grateful for your time today. Everyone, have an awesome weekend. Make amazing things happen as always. And then we'll see you all next time.
Thanks, Gina.
Thanks, Gina. Bye.
Okay, take care, guys. Bye.
Thanks, Gina.